Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Balanced Life, Happy Life. We are meeting together each week in order to discuss an amazing company, Nikken, with a fantastic business opportunity, products that really are incomparable in the market. We have a philosophy that really helps people to be and become their very best selves. And we also have a community, a global wellness community, people who are like-minded, who are seeking to find balance in their life, more happiness, more joy, more abundance. So I'm excited to be with you. My name is Jeff Isom. I am the North American Director of Sales and Training for Nikken. And we have an amazing individual with us tonight, joining us tonight all the way from lovely Toronto, Canada. We have Mike DiMuccio. Mike is an amazing individual who has a really fantastic knowledge of this industry, network marketing, direct selling. He's an electrical engineer by education. He's a serial entrepreneur, and he is a master at coaching people at how to get what it is they're looking for in their life. And on this Balanced Life, Happy Life, we have kind of a special treat for you. We're going to be focusing on what it is that you can do to create more abundance in your life, whatever it might be for you, and some really specific ideas that you can do to make that happen. So if you've been with us before, if this is your first time, we're going to be taught by a master this evening over the next 27 minutes. So Mike, thanks for being with us tonight. I'll turn it over to you.
Well, I think I'm on mute. Great. All right. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, those of you for joining us. I'm curious to see if you have any guests on the call. If you could raise your hand if you're a guest, or if this is your first time. Okay. I'm wondering if we might then pivot and make this more of a training call than simply an opportunity meeting. I'll thumbs up if that's good with you guys. Okay, good. Well, first of all, I'm an open book when it comes to this business. I love to talk about Nikken. I love to share my Nikken story. And I love to share everything about what makes Nikken, in my opinion, special in the marketplace, both as a business opportunity and as a product line. This presentation that I actually have that I can go through with you is the talking points that I bring up when I want to talk about Nikken and give somebody a 50,000-foot view. And one of the things that I realized early on when I first started to get involved in network marketing was the reason why people got involved in network marketing. And 90% of the time, it was because they wanted an opportunity. When you have such an amazing product like we do, in a product line like we do, the tendency is to pivot the conversation quickly to the product, and you almost lose sight and perspective of the opportunity. But the very essence, the very nature of our business is to promote wellness through a network marketing vehicle. In other words, rather than one person going out and telling the world by themselves, one person and having, let's say, 1,000 customers, the idea is to make it possible and palatable for just about anybody to do, where if you have maybe 10 customers and you have 100 people who have 10 customers, well, that's 1,010 customers. In other words, the idea is not to do it single-handedly, but to actually invite others to participate in with you and grow a network. And so for me, day one, I never went out with the intention of selling Nikken products. Don't get me wrong. I was absolutely in love with the experience that I'd already had with the products, both myself and members of my family. But most certainly, I was more fascinated by and more eager to explore the possibility of building a lifestyle for myself. I wanted out of the rat race. And for me, the rat race was working as an electrician, 14-hour days, 6 days a week. I was educated as an aerospace engineer. I was a graduate of aerospace engineering, but I immediately went into the music industry, writing and producing original music. So you can imagine the kind of mindset somebody would have to go from engineering to music. In fact, that's probably why I love this. One of the first slides in the presentation is this one right here. It's a person who's laying it all on the line. You know, you ever wonder why we're so fascinated by people singing? Why we go to concerts in the thousands, by the thousands, to see somebody to perform, and why it's such an attraction. And I think it's really simple. I think when you see somebody perform, you see them wearing their heart on the sleeve. You see something about them being let loose that we all inside of us wish we could. You know, we sort of live vicariously in those moments through them as they let loose. And that, to me, is what it means to be alive and to be free and to be fully invested in the moment. And so many of us are so conservative about how we live, what we say, how we show up. We're so self-conscious, we never actually get to live fully. And so one of the first things I like to talk about is the freedom that you start to experience as you embark on the journey of entrepreneurship, because it really forces you to start exploring things that are outside your comfort zone. And this is where Jeff has spent most of his professional life, educating and teaching and working with people to explore that, which is why we call it humans being more. And there's a humans being more component to the Nikken business opportunity, because if you as a person is not growing, you're not going to grow outside your comfort zone, which means you're not going to experience anything new. What would be the point of getting involved in something else just to keep yourself busy with more of the same? Not very pointful or purposeful. But what if you could get involved in something else that moves you outside of your comfort zone and into a completely different way of thinking and feeling and living, moves you outside of the norm? And this is the norm. Look at this image here, modern life, stress. Most people, you know, most people I know are experiencing high degrees of stress. And it comes from every kind of combination of things. Most people are feeling the pressure of time constraints, financial worries, health concerns, too many demands on them, heavy responsibilities, especially if you have a young family or you're raising a family, workplace issues, etc. This is the norm. Not too many people live like rich and famous people. Not too many people live like these singer-songwriters. So when I saw Nikken, I saw it as a way to get out of this rat race and into what I really wanted, which was a life in balance, a life of purpose, a life that was fulfilling and really drove me to express who I am as a person, as an individual, abundantly. This is really what we talk about when we talk about the 5 pillars. It's a way of expressing ourselves. And, you know, you express yourself through your body, through your mind, through your relationships, such as your family, your immediate relationships, through your role, your function in society, whether you are out there making a difference or you're really, you know, kind of closed off into your living space. And finances is a clear reflection of what you're putting out. You earn in a, you know, my mentor used to say, if you want to see the impact that a person has made in the world, just look at the impact the world has made on that person. It's a direct relationship. So if they're very well known and they have a lot of finances, that means they've made a significant contribution in society. So finances are totally connected to how expressive you are. And so Nikken is really about that. So this is kind of a training / presentation mode right now, because I'm not exactly sure the entire audience and whether we have some guests on, but I'll do it both ways. So I'd like you, not for the sake of, for the actual sake of exploring this, if there were 2 areas in your life that you would want most, and I mean most, to augment this year, to make a difference, make a movement happen, a significant movement happen in any 2 areas of your life, body, mind, family, society, finances, which 2 would it be? And put it in order of priority, number 1 and number 2. And I'm going to ask you in the chat, can we do that, Jeff, with this call? Can we see a chat? I'm going to ask everyone on this call to put your number 1 in the chat so we can see what is your number 1 in the chat. Okay, let's have a look at this. So we've got the chat. Okay, you're number one, family, family, mind, society, finances, family. Okay. Finances, family, finances. Okay, looks like family and finances are coming up as the number one and number two. No surprise there. Notice it's not health. I wanted to make that point. Notice it's not health. And so when you lean on the products and you start talking about the products, you're not talking to people's needs. People's top priorities, their top needs are family and finances. That's what I have found. In fact, if I had to really weigh it, it's finances and family. And what that really translates into, money, obviously, the means, but family. What does it mean, family? Most people would agree that when they're referring to family, they want more time. They want to be with the people they love, the people they care about. So it's time and money. Now, there's four kinds of people in this world. There's people who have no time, no money. There's people who have money, no time. There's people who have no money, but all the time in the world. And then there's people who have time and money. And it sounds to me like the majority of the people in this call want the combination of time and money freedom. Well, then that's where this opportunity really gets exciting for me, because this is something I learned about very, very quickly. And I was able to actually experience in a matter of months, not even many years. I went to got my degree in engineering. It took 4 years to get to a starting point in engineering. 4 years and over $100,000 in expenditures to get a degree that says I'm ready to get started to make money. And that doesn't include high school. So there's people doing that by the millions right now, spending good hard-earned money or having to work while they're getting their education so that they could get poised or positioned for something that may or may not even be relevant and may or may not even be at all giving them the opportunity of what that is that they really want. But take a look at this curve, this compound effect. As Einstein said, it was the seventh wonder of the world, or is it the eighth? Anyway, compounding. The idea that a big change can happen in your life in any area, income, health, relationships, happiness, success, a big change can happen without a big change needing to happen. So that's very convenient. In other words, a small change or small choices and a change in the choices we're making with some degree of consistency over time can lead to a radical difference. So for instance, I discovered that if I learned how to compound time, I could actually multiply income. And now my income was not related to my time. I was able to generate income and time simultaneously. Doesn't that sound like what everybody on this call is looking for? And it wasn't by selling products, and it wasn't by promoting health. It was by looking for people and sharing with people an idea that was bigger than both those ideas. It was the idea that they could actually have it all. Within the context of this Nikken opportunity, this Nikken vehicle, are incredible products that can most certainly improve our health outcome. But more importantly, in the sharing of this idea is the opportunity to improve our lifestyle outcome. Now, from a health perspective, I tell you what Nikken is offering stands out quite dramatically in the world. Consider North America and Japan in the subject of health. It's a pretty big industry, right? Multi-trillion-dollar industry, one of the fastest rising industries on planet Earth, is expenditures to either get our health back or to help stay somewhat healthy and stave off aging. Big, big dollars. So if you had something unique to propose in the marketplace, you'd have quite a business opportunity. On the left-hand side, you can see Canada number 34, USA number 68 in terms of health. And who's number one? Japan. In terms of longevity, USA 40th in the world, average life expectancy 76.5 years. And who's number one? Japan. They live almost 8 years more than 8 years longer than us on average. And cost, the cost of trying to keep our health or get our health back 3 times more in North America and the USA and Canada than it is in Japan. So clearly, whatever they're doing is more cost effective and, more importantly, produces the outcome that's actually more desirable. Obesity, big issue. Most people have heart issues. That's one of the primary causes of death. And of course, with men and women, it's up there about 30+%, and it's 10% of that in Japan. So what is it that they're doing or thinking or anything in Japan that would make those statistics so dramatically different than they are in the West? And the answer is really obvious, and it's right at the bottom. In the West, we are programmed for sick care, and we are managed by a sick care system that calls itself a healthcare system. In the East, in Japan, they are programmed to prevent illness through self-care, an ongoing way of life. And the results, well, they speak for themselves. Well, this could apply to just about any concept. And the Japanese have really mastered this one. They've looked at the health risk factors, and one of the things that you can actually mitigate is the quality of your sleep, your nutrition, the quality of the air you breathe, the quality of the water you drink. Even the energies you're surrounded by or connected to can all have a major role in whether or not you are increasing or decreasing the stress or the burden on our body. And Nikken is right dead smack in the middle of all of this with technologies that replicate nature. So the answer to our problems when it comes to health, and for that matter, pretty much anything else, is to take personal responsibility. Don't wait for your government. Don't wait for your company or whoever you work for. Don't wait for anybody. Take personal responsibility. My mentor, again, what he would talk about is the key to freedom is responsibility. So imagine that the word freedom and responsibility are tied at the hip, but it's not taking responsibility for other things. It's taking responsibility for oneself. That's the ticket to freedom. And so be healthy by choice, not by chance is a pretty good catchphrase. You can be wealthy by choice and not by chance. And that's what I learned. And I got all my education through this amazing company called Nikken that led me down this path. So the pursuit of balance in these 5 pillars could be probably the most important pursuit of your life because it leads to a healthy, balanced life in each of these areas. Let me introduce you to Nikken through their own words.
Do you ever...
Well, we got stuck there. Let's try that again. It's not playing, Jeff. I don't know why that happened. But we will skip it then.
Mike, I can share it if you'd like me to.
Yeah, it's really weird. It doesn't do that normally.
Let me go ahead and play it.
Do you ever have days where everything in your life feels in balance? When your mind is clear and your body feels in tune with nature? When everyone in your family is healthy and happy? When you belong to and support a warm, loving community? When you have a stable income and no debt? Mind, body, family, society, finances. Nikken calls these 5 areas of our lives the 5 pillars of wellness. We help you cultivate balance in all 5 areas of life with the tools that build your wellness home. Because to breathe is to live, we focus on clean air. Because water is life, we focus on pure water. Because healthy food nourishes strong bodies, we focus on nutrient-dense organic ingredients. Because everyone needs restful sleep and energy to feel joyful, we focus on rest, relaxation, and magnetic support. And to keep you as youthful looking as you feel, we focus on naturally sourced marine organic skincare. Our vision is to share the 5 pillars of wellness with everyone. And we want to spread the word throughout the world. Because once you achieve a balanced lifestyle, wouldn't you want to help everyone you know to achieve the same wonderful life of active wellness? That's what we offer everyone who is part of our global wellness community. Join Nikken to build your wellness home and live a life in balance. Discover it. Live it. Share it.
Thank you, Jeff. You know, every time I watch that video, I get excited because I can't imagine, first of all, what my life would be like if it wasn't for Nikken. Having experienced all of these things, it's not a pipe dream. It's a real thing for me, for sure, and my family. I heard this word, belonging to and support of a loving community. You know, to belong to something that actually moves people in the right direction is something you can get behind and you can put your heart in. And now you can actually start to express that part of you inside that wants to shout through the rooftops about something really good, about something that actually matters, that can actually make an impact. And if you've experienced any of these products yourself, you know what I'm saying is the truth. Nikken talks about, or the video talked about, we focus on. Notice it's not about products, it's about a result. There are many ways to get a result. Nikken happens to find product solutions that are in harmony with nature, which is one of the top priorities of the world these days. Everybody's looking to nature. And so we call this concept of connecting people back to nature, starting where it all starts, in our home. That's where wellness begins. And so the Nikken Wellness Home is really all about connecting people back to nature with this idea of biomimicry. We have a video that explains it quite nicely.
In a world constantly evolving, we've found inspiration in nature's timeless solutions, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered, readily available outside our doors. This is biomimicry, the art of learning from and emulating nature's brilliance, solving our problems and creating sustainable solutions. Nature is our guide, offering forms more efficient than we ever imagined, processes ahead of cutting-edge technologies and systems refined over billions of years. The human body is a highly sophisticated biological system that has evolved to be efficient, adaptive, and resilient. Incorporating principles of biomimicry for human body functions not only leverages the efficiency and adaptability of natural systems, but also aligns with the broader goals of sustainability and environmental harmony. In a natural environment, the spring water is filtered, purified, and filled with minerals that are essential for maintaining optimal functions in our body. The emulation of these natural compositions generates an exceptional source of the ideal water that every cell in our body needs for smart hydration. The Earth's magnetic field influences organisms in many ways: navigation, finding their way, or even for communication. By using magnetic and massage stimulation, we are seeking to influence the body's natural responses to restore balance and support in our increasing stressful world. Air abundant in negative ions can be experienced as a fresh air feeling, such as the revitalizing air near waterfalls and forests. Ionization technologies enhance indoor air quality and overall wellness, bringing pure air to our home. Ceramic reflective fibers work like the sun's spectrum, bringing this comforting technology to our homes. Using energy from our bodies and the environment, these fibers gently reflect a soothing warmth, promoting a sense of well-being for less stress, restful sleep, and vital energy. Our overall approach aims to bring balance in the 5 pillars of wellness by bringing nature into your home. Together, we can make a better world where we not only survive, but thrive. And you? How do you connect with nature?
Pretty awesome, I'd say. I'd love to get from the chat. You heard air, water, sleep, nutrition, and connected to energy. Just type in the chat, those of you who have experienced Nikken products, which of these categories is your favorite category? So have a look at the answers in the chat. Let's see, what do we have? We got a real combination here. We've got, let's see, sleep, air, water, sleep. Water, sleep, water, and sleep, sleep, water, sleep, sleep, all of the above. Water, water, sleep, sleep, water. Okay, I get the point. Again, we seem to have two areas that really jump out: sleep and water. Well, why do you suppose? You do that 1/3 of your life. 1/3 of your life is sleeping. Why? I guess there must be some reason why we sleep. It's to regenerate. And if you're not regenerating, you are degenerating. And what is the catalyst to every vital function in the body? Hydration. So if you want to regenerate while you're sleeping, you need your body doing all the things that it does. Hydration is critical to that. And so those are two very, very good solutions that Nikken addresses. And it's not the only two, but the idea is it's a total wellness approach to bringing our body back into a state of harmony, back into a state that is natural and allows the body to thrive. Again, that's our wellness home concept. So again, it's not something that's far-fetched or out of this world. And the products reflect that. These products were developed to bring the connection back. Our air unit doesn't just filter, it reintroduces into the air the negative ions, which is what we find in fresh forests, waterfalls, etc. The water doesn't just get filtered, it gets nourished, filtered, energized through magnetics, renourished with minerals. So it's not just cleaning something up, it's putting back into that something what is needed in order for that something to actually function in our body, what nature does. Our sleep system, our sleep technology. Imagine how much time you sleep. What if just putting one thing on your bed one time changes the performance and the quality of your sleep, your regenerative process, to the degree that you are no longer in the degenerative side of things, but you're in the regenerative side of things every night? What does that do for the daytime, the time that you're actually alive, productive, and trying to enjoy those 5 pillars of your life? What about nutrition? How is it that the Japanese are 10% of us in obesity? Because they properly nourish their body. They don't just feed their body, they nourish their body. So what if you just added an element of nourishment to your body? How would that show up in terms of the long term and the health benefits? And then, of course, there's the connection to nature in every form. Our insoles and so forth bring us back to earth. Those are the things that make a difference. And if you're the kind of person who wants to make a difference, these are the kind of products that would facilitate that. So I know we have Kim Woodward here standing by. Kim, would you mind sharing maybe one of your stories or a couple of your stories of the Nikken products?
Yes, happy to. Thanks, Mike. So I put in the group chat that mine was air, and there's a few reasons why mine is air. And it's because I guess it's all specific to challenges that you may face in regards to one of those areas. Sometimes all are important, but for me, I have seen the Kenko air really bless my family's life. My mum has quite a severe lung disease, and I was just over there with her in England doing some work on her house, and she can't tolerate any amount of fumes of any kind. And so when I was able to put the Kenko air on for her, it just allowed her to even be in her home. Having lots of teenagers, I am able to use the Kenko air in their bedrooms, because we all know that teenagers' rooms are the worst smell in the world. And each one of them has a Kenko air in their bedroom. And you want it on the porch? Thank you. Sorry, the delivery man's coming to the door. And each one has one in their bedroom. And I find that because of that, the allergies that they normally get, the allergies that come around this time of year, they're getting less of those. They're just generally better. Their immune systems are better. They're breathing that fresh quality air. And I can actually go into their bedrooms each morning and smell a freshness, which I really appreciate. But also more than that, I think for me, I've seen how it's really blessed my mother's life, because otherwise she would be in a much worse condition based on her lung condition that she has. Air for her, she's always struggled. And so this has really impacted her day-to-day living. So I'm so grateful for the Kenko air.
Well, thank you, Kim. You know, when you were bringing up your mother, I was just thinking, I know what it feels like to have like a cold, and it's so hard to breathe, and it's so difficult to sleep and so forth. When you have a cold, it's just the most horrible feeling. Just affects everything. You can't think right, you can't speak right, you can't act right. It's just blah. So what you're talking, when you describe that, how just the simple idea of fresh air in your house, that you can actually be in your house because you have fresh air in your house. Man, that may not seem like an earth-shattering idea that's going to make the, CNN or any of the top news stations right now. But boy, for your mom or for anybody else who's got this issue, it's a life changer. It's absolutely dramatically.
It really is. It's a life changer. Like I said, for everyone, it might be different, but for her, it makes all the difference.
Yeah, and multiply that by the many millions of sufferers out there who don't know we exist and this product exists. Boy, we got to get busy. Thank you for that. So we've got some products, as we mentioned. Our premier water product you can see on the screen right here is one of our more popular items. Definitely a way to get your Nikken Wellness Home started. I can't imagine you wouldn't want this. It's the most economical way to have the freshest, cleanest water on planet Earth. You can do the math. We can share the math with you, but it's really real. Also, there's other ways to connect with nature. We've got our energy pack. We've got our sleep system. And as you heard, the two ones that really jump out for everybody is water and sleep. Again, for me, sleep is everything. You come to my house, go to any bedroom, and you'll see, and there's 5 of them in here. You got a sleep system, an air unit, everything that makes Nikken, that makes my house like being outside, like being in the forest behind me here. Can you imagine sleeping in the forest on a fresh, clean night? Well, that's what it's like in my house. So these are products that people fall in love with. They don't experience just a benefit. They experience passion. And when you get passionate about something like I did in my first 48 hours of experiencing Nikken, first with my own back issue, and then with my father's sciatica issue, within 48 hours, I had 2 most dramatic stories in my own immediate sphere of influence. I couldn't help myself but start talking about Nikken to other people. But as I cautioned, I didn't talk about just the product. I wanted people to know there was an opportunity. And speaking of opportunities, here's the newest one in the Nikken family. This product was launched in March, and it's already becoming a premier product in the Nikken lineup. It's Pink Collagen Complex. And those of you in the chat, if you've been using this Pink Collagen, type one of the benefits you've experienced personally from using this Pink Collagen. I'll tell you mine. My hairdresser knows my hair better than I do. And he's talking to me about how healthy my hair is becoming. And I've only been using this since April. We launched in March, but I couldn't keep my own stock in my hands because everybody was taking it out of my hands. So finally, I got my supply in April, and I started using this every single day. And I haven't missed a day because I'm religious about this, because I wanted to be one of the people who could actually speak about this from a personal experience. And I swear to you, the smoothness around my face. I had one of my customers actually go to an event and be called to tables, paraded around, and asked people for the person who was parading her around, touch her skin, just to see how smooth her skin was. It was crazy. She was so excited. She's one of my most loyal clients. She has the Pink Collagen pack on auto ship. She gets it automatically. So definitely a product that can be a game changer for somebody who's looking to be more youthful, who's looking to have their knees not creak and crack like they used to, who's looking to have their hair a little bit better. Now, in the chat, take a look at the chat. Let's see what we got in the chat here. Oh boy, there's a lot. Smooth skin, less creepiness and the crepiness on my arms. My daughter had dental surgery done. Her healing was much faster. Nails, improved gum sensitivity, hair, nails, tightened skin on face, hands, better hair, nails, fluid joints, knees feel better, better nails, improved digestion, deeper sleep. Okay, so think about this, guys. Who wouldn't want this? So it's not a question of whether people want it, enjoy it. It's just they don't know it exists. How are they going to find out about this? And that's really where the story starts to change. And that's about how we get the message out. You can just be a Nikken customer, enjoy the products, and keep it all to yourself. I doubt you will, because I'm sure as soon as you have an amazing experience like we have, you're going to tell somebody. Whether you're getting paid for it, whether you're involved in this at all, you're going to tell somebody, because they always do. But there is a way for you to get involved and be compensated for sharing this. And when I saw the opportunity associated with Nikken and what had already transpired where Nikken was doing business abroad, I knew there was a huge possibility. I mean, there were people becoming millionaires. Now, I didn't expect that. And I don't even think I was hoping for that. I just figured if I could be, 10% as good as anybody out there, I could do really well for myself. And boy, was I wrong about that. I did way better than I ever expected for myself. And here I am 33 and a half years later, still talking about it. So how can you get involved? How can you connect with nature? Maybe your connection is to help us get others connected. Think about this, how we make money. There's really 4 ways you're making money. One of 4 ways mostly. You're either an employee or you're self-employed. If you're on the left-hand side of this image, this comes from Cash Flow Quadrants, the author and lecturer and business tycoon, Robert Kiyosaki. If you're on the left-hand side, you're trading time for money, which means you're one of those people who has money if you don't have time, or you have time if you don't have money, because one exchanges for the other. And so most people on the left-hand side always complain there's just never enough time to get anything that they want to do done. And maybe there's just only enough money to get the bills paid. So how do we get out of that rat race? Since most of us have actually been educated to be in that rat race. I mean, I got a degree in aerospace engineering, not an easy thing to get. And it was positioning me to be on the left-hand side. When all in my gut and my feeling, I wanted to be free. I wanted to be like the rich and famous. I wanted to be on like that show, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous with Robin Leach. Man, I wanted to be one of those people. And it sure wasn't going to be trading time for money because they didn't do that. How was I going to get to the right-hand side? Being an owner of a business that earned me an income. Rather than me, the business is making the money and I get to profit from that, be a shareholder or a major investor in that. Or what about if you had enough money to invest? Well, that's only a small percentage of the population. But to get to the right-hand side, it requires a different way of thinking about money. Money is about adding value. Money becomes about adding value. So how can you add value, given how busy you already are, without impacting the amount of time to any great extent? How can you add tremendously more value with just a little bit more time? And the answer is you need to create many sources of income. You can't depend on one, you have to have many. So you need a vehicle that allows you to create many sources of income. And that's exactly what Nikken allows us to do. Every time we share Nikken with someone, there's a possibility that that someone will become a Nikken customer, perhaps a customer for life, which is an income source. That customer may in fact upgrade or just see the wisdom right off the start to become involved with us as a business opportunity and start telling other people themselves. Now, that introduction is not just an income stream of one kind, it's an income stream that can actually grow independent of your time. And that's true for everyone you introduce, but it's also true for everyone they introduce. And our compensation plan allows that to go generationally. So I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Imagine you did something today by introducing this to someone who maybe they were named Mike DiMuccio, and they were, a fledgling musician working 14-hour days as a starving electrician, not living the life they wanted, not at all close to their dreams, hopeless situation. But inside of them is the drive and the desire to get out of the rat race. And you happen to be the person who introduced me. Well, guess what? I didn't keep it a secret. And 33 and a half years later, I'm still not keeping it a secret. But there have been hundreds of thousands of lives that have been impacted directly and indirectly because of that one introduction. And to this day, 33 and a half years later, I'm still getting paid on what I did day one. Now, you imagine that for a second for you, because that's what we're talking about here. Every single person on this call and every individual you have the opportunity to share this with has the same opportunity. And the only thing that determines whether or not that's true is whether or not Nikken is relevant. And so far from what you've heard, do you feel Nikken is relevant? Do you feel that these products make sense and there's room for them in the marketplace? Do you feel that preventing illness makes sense? Do you feel that people are looking for time and money freedom? Do you think that offering Nikken as a solution is something people are going to be open to? And if the answer to any of those questions is yes, then you're going to start to understand why the opportunity is perhaps greater today than ever in its history, thanks to technology. Look at Amazon. How did they take over the world of retail? Real simple. They put in place a system. Uber. How did Uber become the #1 taxi company in the world without even owning a taxi? Real simple. They put a system in place. They made people like you and me leverage their system and turn our cars into a profit center. Anybody who wants to make an extra cash flow, a little bit of extra money on the side, drive an Uber. Well, we have all of that going for us and some. Number one, we're in the space called wellness, an emerging marketplace that's worth trillions of dollars going forward. And the most logical thing, if you're really interested in well-being. And the world always tends to the more efficient manners of doing things. And clearly the Japanese have proven that they're more efficient than us in the area of wellness. So anything coming from Nikken is totally relevant and is the future. But when you have a platform like Nikken to leverage that you can share with others and grow a business, not just in your town, not just in your city, not just in your province or state, not just in your country, but literally internationally, by sharing with somebody who shares with somebody who shares with somebody who shares with somebody, you never know where this is going to end up. And like I said, you might start today, but 33 years from now, you'll be looking back saying, God, I'm so glad I started today, that day. And how it works is simple. Just join. It's like under $60 to join and have your Nikken business. Then start to share and promote your experience with other people, like you've heard today. And Nikken does the tough stuff, all the stuff that you and I personally, me, would never want to do, which is I'd have to have inventory, I'd have to have books, I'd have to do shipping, I'd have to do receiving. Can you imagine all the things that a business actually has to do to be able to deliver a product internationally? There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background. You don't have to do any of that. Nikken does that. You just have to connect the dots, the person with the idea, and then they go shopping, and Nikken solves the hard logistics. And the benefit to you, well, we generate an income, we generate a possibility for others. We can do this anywhere because the tools are as simple as a phone. You can do this anywhere. And I've done this many times on a beach, believe me. It's a fun place to be when you're doing business. We have many income centers in Nikken, many opportunities to generate money from whether it's retail activity, from enrolling people, bonuses, group team bonuses, leadership bonuses. You know, our compensation plan, in my opinion, is one of the simplest I've ever seen in the industry. And I've been in the industry a long time and I've seen a lot, and I'm pitched almost every week a new idea. But what I love about the Nikken compensation plan is it is simple, because it really revolves around 3 simple ideas. 1, tell people about what we've got and let them shop on your shopping cart. 2, enroll people in the opportunity and earn bonuses on their activity. And 3, develop yourself and help others develop your entrepreneurial and leadership skills so that you become that person who's not shy, but that person who can literally speak from the heart 24/7 about things that you're passionate about. That's called leadership. And the world definitely needs more of that. You got to admit. So be counted among that group of people and start earning amazing leadership rewards. And if you're thinking, I've never done anything like this, how would I even begin? The answer is simple. We have a plan. We have a path. We have a leadership development plan, helps people become entrepreneurs in a turnkey system. And you can do it at your pace, your own pace. There is nothing here standing in the way of your success and your progress, except your decision or your choices. And as we talked about earlier, one little change in that can make a huge difference. I never would have expected what I've received as a benefit for 33.5 years. I didn't. When I joined Nikken, I was simply looking for a way out of where I was at. I did not expect a way into something that would fill me with so much hope for the future and passion for others. And you'll be surrounded by people like me. There's a lot of them on this call who want nothing more than to help others succeed. We're really driven by people and the pursuit of their passion. So imagine a business built on collaboration instead of a business that thrives on competition. That world, that is so yesterday and could be left behind so much faster by joining a world of collaboration. Be a part of the solution for the evolution of this planet. And that's what this business opportunity is about, collaboration. Let me show you visually what this looks like, because this is what we experience, some in small quantities, some in large, but essentially this is the idea. Watch the graph as it unfolds. At the top left-hand side, there's you and your connection to Nikken as you begin your wellness experience with the products and you start sharing with people. As you start sharing with the people you know, your sphere of influence, some of those people are going to be happy to be customers, and that's great. Some of those people are going to look at this and say, I want in. I need a way out, so I want in. And they'll join you as a consultant in Nikken. All of us are connected to Nikken. What happens when those people start sharing what you shared with them? And they start developing customers of their own and consultants of their own, and so on and so on. It's how a genealogy of your family tree goes. So-and-so begat so-and-so, who begat so-and-so. And this can spread out geographically across all the countries that Nikken's doing business in North and South America. Each of those individuals that you see is a source of income. Every one of those people on your genealogy is a source of income, some small, some medium, some large, but it all adds up. As my friend on this call loves to say, the bigger the network, the bigger the check. And it gets direct deposited on the 15th in your bank account every month. Talk about something that can help you have a little bit more influence in your family life. Is the disposable income, is the impact. So being part of our Nikken wellness community as an entrepreneur has tremendous benefits. We've got Maggie McKee, who is from BC, who I've known now 25, 26 years at least. And she's an amazing example of what it means to be an entrepreneur, but to have transitioned into entrepreneurship. Maggie, why don't you tell your story?
Thanks, Michael. Thanks for the opportunity. I was raised to go to school, get a good job, get a good education, get a good job. And I had a good job. I was a tenured professor. I had status. I had, decent income. I had, some professional development time and so on. But what I didn't have was I didn't have time freedom, and I certainly didn't have a healthy body. I was desperately looking for a solution to 30 years of chronic discomfort. And when Nikken was introduced, it just made sense to me, probably because I grew up on a farm, and biomimicry just made sense because that's when I felt the best, was living on the farm, working on the farm, being outdoors and drinking good water and so on. And so I wasn't looking for a business. If you told me 29, 30 years ago that I was going to give up that position in the community, because I love teaching, and become an entrepreneur, I would have said, you got to be kidding. I did it because not only the health benefits, but I saw so many other people who, like you, Michael, were looking for a way out of where they were into something that was bigger than themselves. And the 5 Pillars of Wellness really offers that opportunity. So it's my absolute joy every day to spark connection with people and be in a conversation that helps them to discover possibilities for their lives. And sometimes it's not Nikken, and that's fine. Sometimes it is, and I can give them those choices. And it's so rewarding to be on that hero's journey. It has not been easy. I call it a hero's journey because there have been lots of dragons, lots of challenges, lots of successes. And the biggest thing is becoming more of the person I think I'm here to be, and being part of a global movement.
Fantastic. Well, couldn't set it better myself. Exactly how I feel about it as well. Thank you. So if you wanted to be a part of something big, a part of something that's relevant, that's on the go, and that really has impact, be a part of this movement. We call it active wellness because we're personally responsible for our own well-being, and sharing this with every home we come into, every person we come into. So have a look at this idea of being at the beginning of something. When this vision was put on the table a couple of years ago, I thought, that's crazy. 10 million people? I mean, how about we get to the first million and then we'll worry about the next 9. But, you know, I got a son who's in social media. He during COVID, he started doing something online, and he's got 7 million followers in 2 years. Yeah, maybe 10 million is not a bad idea. So why don't you help us be part of this movement? Help us bring this company to the next 50 million level, be part of the history of the making of a wellness movement and a company that's really got our backs. So again, a reminder, you can just simply say yes to being a customer and have a great experience because you simply are somebody who's enthusiastic about wellness. Or you can take that account of yours and upgrade it to that of a consultant for the $50 or so that it takes. By the way, they'll give you one of these. This necklace here has got all the 3 technologies built into it that you've been hearing about, and start sharing with people. But if you're like me and you're somebody who says, green light, green light, green light, everything's telling me green, it's time to go, I want to get busy with this, then, you know, be a community builder. Be somebody who helps us expand this community with a real campaign. We love to launch people as partners. We love to work closely with people who's like, I don't have time to lose. Let's get this airplane off the ground. And that's what I like spending my time doing. So if you wonder what Mike DiMuccio, after 33.5 years, loves to do, I love giving people a huge launch in their business, giving people the opportunity to experience what it experiences to get this plane off the ground. The excitement, the thrill, the results, the rewards, and the start of a journey that could potentially take them, God knows, around the world like it's taken me and so many others. So we invite you to join us. Join us any which way makes sense to you, but join us because this is a community that supports the right actions. Jeff, back to you.
Mike, thank you so much for sharing with us this evening those inspiring, motivational, educational words, and your backup dancers. I call Maggie and your backup dancers. All of you look fantastic, but Mike, my goodness, your hair does look amazing. I've known you since meeting you in 1995 on a visit to Japan, the birthplace of Nikken, and you do have amazing hair. But everybody who's been using the pink collagen complex seem to have a glow. They seem to have a glow about them. It's an amazing product. But thank you, Mike, Maggie, Kim, for introducing us to this fantastic company, reintroducing us to this amazing company, Nikken. A fantastic business opportunity, products, a philosophy, and a community of people that are really unmatched in this industry of direct sales. So thank you to all 3 of you for joining us this
Jeff,
evening.
if I might ask for everybody's benefit, because we really want to move this group to the next level, the next step. Like, we need to double the size of the audience of this call next week. How about that, guys? That's if every one of us brings one person, we've doubled the size. I think that's something we ought to focus on, make that a priority for our activities this week. Because if you heard something that makes sense to you, it's going to make sense to others. And so help us double the numbers on this call. That would be a starting point. I know there's a couple of calls coming up. You've got a call coming up, Jeff. I think it's on Thursday. I've got a call coming up on Monday, and I'm now collaborating with Dave Rolfe. Join us on that call and learn what we're doing to help Nikken go from 50 to 100, the next 50 million.
That's a great idea, Mike. If everyone on this call invited one person, we'd have 52 people. So identify who that person is over the next week. That's plenty of time to figure out who that person might be. I will be talking about Nikken's new back office broadcast email system more in depth and giving some ideas of how to effectively use that. And you can send emails to all of your customers. And that might be a great way to invite all of those people that have benefiting from these products to learn a little bit more. So we'll look forward to a fantastic group next week. Mike, thank you once again. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you all soon.